Welcome to Film Talk Weekly. This is your guest host, Castle Searcy with the Santa Fe International Film Festival. Today, I am here with Damian Conrad-Davis, an actor. You're in LA right now?
Yeah, I'm
That's
in
where
Los
you live?
Angeles.
Okay, welcome to the show. You're starring in a feature. And as a side note, I think it's set in Arizona, but it was filmed in New Mexico or parts of it?
No, it's filmed in Arizona. Filmed in Arizona.
Oh, okay. Well,
One
the
thing you might
South,
have heard from me a while
the
is I
Southwest.
was, yeah, the Southwest, so
Yeah.
same general region.
Yeah.
And that was one of the first. There's new like Arizona. There were new Arizona tax credits that this is one of the first films to qualify
Okay.
for those. I don't know that much about that, but I remember when we were in Phoenix, like the director and writer were going on a lot of the local TV stations talking about this tax incentive. I don't know, I'm just the actor, but more than that. But when we shot it, we went down. We cast it was cast on Zoom or whatever, and self tape and then follow up via Zoom, and then we all went down, and I think I went out and met the director and the writer and my co-lead, and then we went down to Arizona and we're embedded down in the desert for a month, and that was really awesome. It was a little challenging because I had a young my son was like 2 months old at the time,
Oh, yeah.
but it was awesome because my character was away from his wife and son. So I was like, oh, let me use it.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Method acting of sorts.
so doing that though, I will say this, like just as far as the journey of my career has it kind of ignited something in me. I remember every day, like it's what I realized early on in the process was the number one actor on the call sheet can kind of set the tone, where people are a little bit like, I'm not a big star or anything, but it's still, you're kind of like the face of the show. You're in all the scenes. You set the tone with how is this guy gonna act or be, or and I remember like that was like a whole nother part of the job was you know, uh, being positive with people. Like when things were getting hard, staying positive myself. Because if you become a diva actor and you start, when things are falling apart, which in every project I've ever been on, something is falling apart. It doesn't. I don't care what the budget is. And so, when that stuff is inevitably happening, if they can look to me and I'm game, I'm smiling, it just became so apparent to me that that was important to do, and it was fun for me. I didn't have to fake anything. I mean, genuinely loved the people. I was genuinely grateful to be able to be in the role and to have all these people working together for something at the end of the day where it's primarily going to be your face
Yeah.
associated with it, which is a whole nother thing because you're like, wow, if this movie's incredible, wow, I'm really gonna this is gonna be great for me. If the movie is terrible and I'm terrible, I can't run and hide from it, because you can't hide from it, which is also another aspect of like, oh wow, I really want everyone to be doing a good job,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's gonna maybe look bad or maybe look
Right,
good,
right. It's
and
kind of like you're
so
the
that
captain of a team, sort of, when you're the
yeah,
lead.
I mean, and obviously the director and the writer and the producer, they
Yeah.
have that, but like you have your own kind of like
Interest
captain of the
and
actors in a way,
yeah, and your attitude
and
matters and
yeah, and
setting an example.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you
That
have
makes
people
sense.
come in, and I've been on sets where I'm the guy coming in for a few days, and like you got this whole family of people that have been working together for a while, and I know
Hmm.
that's like so. Like I tried when people came in to really like I try to sit with them at lunch because I always know how awkward that is to like find a place to sit
Right, right.
at the lunch table when you got like movie stars around. You're like, oh my gosh, can I be around them?
Yeah.
Or and so obviously I'm a less intimidating figure than a movie star, but yeah, I tried to just make sure they felt comfortable coming in and stuff like that, but also just I remember calling my wife, and just saying, I couldn't be happier. Like this is what I'm meant to be doing. Like this is what I do. Like, I've another part of my story going on, I was always had ADHD and was medicated at a young age, and part of the reason I was a class clown and disruptive, and but I remember thinking like this is like you have someone telling you where to go at all times.
Yeah.
All I had to do was focus on it. Like this is a perfect job for me. I was
Right.
like they're like
Yeah.
shuttling me where I need, like they're like reminding me to
Right.
drink water, like things that like I definitely forget to do.
Yeah.
Like they're making me eat. So it's like it seems a little much in the beginning, but then you realize like, oh, like to be able to focus on my part of it, it is nice to have an infrastructure of like,
Totally.
PAs or, whatever it is,
Yeah.
Helping you. And because at first I'm like, oh, I can get my own water. Then you're like, by the end, you're like, bring me that water. You're right.
Yeah.
Because, and that's the beauty of any, film or TV set is like just all the things that have to come together to make it work that,
Right.
obviously the actors are seeing, but it's just such a deep crowd of people that are making any one of these things happen. But that is, I hope, I always say, and to be the lead in a movie, like I don't know if I'll ever get to do that again. Maybe I'll be the second lead or the third or fourth of a movie, but like to be the lead of a movie, that's such an honor and a privilege that I didn't take lightly. And
Yeah.
I'm so grateful to Deborah and Ron for making that a possibility for me, and I hope to do many more.
Yeah. And how will we see it? Like, when do you suspect it will come out?
Yeah, so that's a whole other thing that
Yeah.
I'm learning about with this is so we did the festival, and last I was communicating with Deborah, the director, Deborah Correa, who's the director. She said they wanted to kind of go back and kind of tinker with it a little bit, so to speak. And so they're been talking. They had a meeting with Lionsgate recently. They're just kind of out there hitting the pavement, and it's her first feature film too. So she's kind of learning this as she goes. Like, wow, like all the work, and you always hear that,
Yeah.
like all the work to like get a film out there is a lot. And so, um, I wouldn't expect to be able to watch it, probably for 6 months minimum.
Okay.
Just as far as that process goes. I'm hoping to be able to go to more film festivals, maybe Santa Fe at the end of the year.
Yes, we'd
But
love to have you. Yeah.
this is a good plug for me to be able to get in there. But hopefully more film festivals in the future. But also, I know they would love to just kind of sell it and
Yeah, and it's a
and
great story, and I think a very timely story for what's all the division in America, and
oh my gosh,
talking about.
that's what drew me to it. Like when I read
Yeah.
it, just people that are Civil War is just we always think that the times we're in are like the worst, but like I don't think it gets worse in the Civil War as far as like
Right.
the fracture in our country, and just remembering the common humanity of everyone.
Yeah.
I think that's what that film's really
Yeah.
about.
It's a
Is
really good message and story, and yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean
And you
it's
play a
beautifully
great,
shot.
like, tortured person. I think I saw some of your other reels. I think you play great at being tortured or injured. Um, and then also, I feel like you're a great comedic actor. Like, I
Oh
feel like
man,
you like
that's
really have like some comedic like future. Like, yeah, I mean, you've already done it, but I just really could see that.
yeah. I mean, comedy. I am passionate about. Like I
Yeah. I
love
mean,
comedy, and like we mentioned Seinfeld earlier.
yeah.
I love Seinfeld. Like
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
so a fan of just the
We
precision
could do a
of
whole
the
show
writing and the
about
jokes.
Seinfeld. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'll talk to you forever about it. But like
Yeah.
anyway, like so comedy I love, and I think it comes very natural to me. And again, like I talked about earlier, like that was kind of like when people always ask, like I meet a lot of people that are like, oh my gosh, I could never, I was shy, I could never talk. The only way I could ever express myself was through the theater. And I was not that person. I was, or some people were like, I love films so much, I just had to be in them. Me, it was like, I want to be the center of attention. This is fun. I need the attention. And like that was kind of what I was born out of in that. And
Uh-huh.
once you go through theater school, like that still exists in me for sure. But like
Yeah.
in theater school, you learn and appreciate. I wouldn't stay in it this long for just that. I appreciate and like love and understand the value of storytelling, the value of sharing. I won't get into, but of so many experiences I've had that aren't that in the theater and stuff like that, that you see the healing aspect of it or the power of telling stories and what that can do for people. And at the end of the day, that is big for me. And so I always had these big debates with my buddy. His name is Felipe Val Costa, and he was
What's his name?
Felipe Val Costa. He was Portuguese. He was a series regular on the show Snowfall for a few
Okay.
years. But we went to this tiny little school together, and but we were always in school together. And I was like, oh, I love the Neil Simon. If you don't know who that is, like it's very comedic, like almost like a Seinfeld like rapid jokes and stuff like that. And he's like into this like experimental, like kind of like intense, like, so he kind of was bringing me like, oh, the theater is here to do this and that and that. And I was like, but also isn't it good for like people to like laugh? And so where I'm at now with comedy is, I think comedy is one of the best tools we have for broaching topics that are hard.
Yeah.
And it's when you're doing good comedy, you're all the important things that a drama does, the comedy does that. Plus, like people are having a fun time, which I think, there's value in that as well. There's value to all these aspects of it. And so, but comedy, I love comedy.
Yeah, I
Another
would
film
love to see you in more comedy. I think like
oh yeah, well,
yeah, I feel like
call some people up.
you really shine in what I've seen of you in comedy. Yeah.
Yeah,
It seems really
yeah,
natural and like, yeah.
yeah,
All
that's
right.
awesome.
Unfortunately, we're out of time, but
It's fun.
thanks for joining us, Damian Conrad-Davis. We can find you. Is your Instagram open for following?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
At Damian Mon.
at Damian
It's all
Mon.
one. Yeah,
And you're on,
Damanmon.
okay. And you're
Is
on IMDb. We can watch The Offer on Paramount Plus. All right. Thanks so much.
all right. Thank you, Castle. This is so fun.
Yeah, it is so fun. Okay.
Yeah, and I love your background.
Oh, thank you.